Hello and welcome to Bloomberg Quint. We're here to wrap the markets for you, and it was yet another quiet day in trade today. So the Nifty opened in the negative zone, but did manage to inch up closer to 8200, but could not really sustain at those levels. And you saw the Nifty ending about giving up that 8200 mark. But not able to sustain that 8200 level. So it was up about 12 points at close, led by some support from banks, which did make some comeback from yesterday's hit that the banking stocks had seen.
Yes, and I would say this is to a certain extent it's got to do with your short covering, because I was actually surprised to see banks move up considering the kind of shorts I'd seen in the system. And that also brings me to the poll of the day. The question we had asked was the bank Nifty, of course, in the morning was seeing some amount of pressure, and where will it end today? It's ended just short of the mark of 18,100, to be precise 18,071, and about 42% of you had voted for above 18,000. So about 42% of you have got it right, followed by another 36% expecting it to move below 17,800, and that really hasn't come to be, because we have actually seen strength despite expectations of weakness. But this, of course, is on the back of relatively average roll turnovers.
That's right, Agam. So if you talk about the cash markets, the turnovers were close to 15,000 crores, and in the derivatives market, the turnovers were around 3.26 lakhs crores. So yes, Agam, average numbers, but again, we are seeing some pickup from the kind of volumes that we've seen in the last 2 or 3 days. But there was also an increase in the open interest today, but not very meaningful, I assume.
I agree with you, because when it comes to the turnovers, they really don't give you much, and even the increase in the Nifty futures open interest, that just stands at a little short of 5%. As far as your Nifty banks concerned, as I was saying earlier, we have seen a little bit of short covering because the open interest has declined by as much as 2%. Let's take a look at the options market. What's really happened is we're looking at a lot of writing in the 8200 put and the 8100 put. So we're looking at more base building in the lower levels of around 8,000. As far as the upper levels concerned, we're looking at some amount of options activity in the 8300 call, which brings me to your range based on maximum open interest that continues to remain between 8,000 and 8,200 in the near term, Shraddha. But this was, of course, is on the gains that we saw on the Nifty is on the back of some PSUs today.
That's correct, Agam. PSUs have sort of made a comeback today, and of course, as we go closer to the budget, we are going to start hearing about disinvestment. But that brings me to the top Nifty gainers. So you had Power Grid Corp, BHEL, Coal India, all of these sitting on well over 2% sort of gains. BPCL also trading with gains of over 2.5%, but came off a little bit in the last hour, so you can't see that here. But you had BPCL is right here for you. You also had other OMCs, your HPCL, IOC were also trending much higher, and this is on the back of jet fuel price hike. Telecom stocks clearly the loser. Idea Cellular, Bharti Airtel, Bharti Infratel, all of them ending in the red zone, ending with losses closer to about 1%. Now that was followed by Hero Motocorp and Agam, I believe the most severe hit from demonetization as far as two-wheelers is concerned seems to have been for Hero Motocorp, 33% fall in
That's
sales.
correct, and this is because of their 100cc bikes and their concentration of their play in 100cc bikes, which many analysts take it to be a commodity play more than anything else. So which is why we've seen a drop of about 34%. And it's not like it's just Hero Motocorp. We've seen weakness in Bajaj Auto. We had TVS Motor Company see with a single-digit decline of as much as 8%, and that is the reason why we have seen TVS Motor Company go up by as much as nearly 3%, at least for when it comes to share price. And again, Tata Motors also came up with its numbers. We saw weakness, and while overall we see an increase of around 2% in volumes, but this was essentially on the back of a return as far as its passenger vehicle segment is concerned. Tiago particularly is doing very well, but of course in the mid caps, TVS Motor Company wasn't the only one which is doing well. We had plenty of media stocks also up.
That's correct, Agam. The media stocks have been in an upward momentum that they've been seeing over the past few days, and that continued today. So in fact, as far as the Nifty Media Index is concerned, you saw all the components trading in green. Of course, TV Today Network seeing the biggest gains, 8.5%. So that really stole the show. You also had logistics stocks like Snowman Logistics that you can really see here. Of course, that's on the back of the GST Council meeting today. Remember, logistics is expected to be the biggest beneficiaries from GST implementation. So logistics and media were definitely moving the mid-cap index on the positive side.
Right. So, when it comes to the market breadth in the broader markets, it was 3 gainers to 1 loser, and which means that we didn't really have too much momentum towards the losing side. But let's address some of these losers. We had Kolte Patil Developers declined by as much as 5.6%, followed by STC. Now, remember, STC has seen a lot of strength recently, so this is potentially some profit taking coming in. Emphasis also continues to show a lot of weakness, down by as much as 3.6%. You had Greenply Industries, ITD Cementation, along with Shree Cement also declined to a certain extent. Again, as I've said, the momentum, at least over the past couple of days, has been lying towards the gainers. And on the whole, of course, it's been a very quiet market, and we are waiting for more traders to come in and give us a direction. For now, it's been yet another quiet day, and that is all that we have for today. For more, of course, you can always tune into BloombergQuint.com, and until then, we will see you tomorrow on another additional market wrap.